When you get stuck in a tight spot on the trail, sometimes the best thing to do is hop out of it. Imagine being able to hop your bike forward an entire bike length in one shot. That's what we're going to learn today, and at the end of today's lesson, I'm going to challenge myself a little bit by trying to jump further than a wheelbase, and I'm going to raise the stakes a little bit too. I'm going to do it off of a drop, that way I have to clear that wheelbase. This move comes from the trials world, which is my riding background, but you can adapt it to any bike, and that's what makes this so fun, is pulling different styles and tricks from different areas of bike riding and applying them to the mountain bike, which is exactly what we're going to do today. My name is Aaron. Welcome to Super Rider. On this channel, we break down complex bike skills into easy to learn techniques so you can quickly apply it to your riding. To set up today's lesson, we need to do three things. First, we're going to work on the basic hop. Then we're going to work on hopping forward, and last we're going to work on the technique for the big forward hop. Let's dive right into a basic hop. These are sometimes called English bunny hops or spud hops, and the reason for that is that unlike a traditional bunny hop where you lift your front wheel and then your back wheel, we're lifting both wheels at the same time. To do a basic hop, I like to think of my body as a giant spring. I center myself over the bike and I bend my elbows and my knees to compress down into the bike, and then I jump up and I pull the bike with me. The easiest way to practice this is by rolling along slowly and doing hops as you roll. The more confident you get with this skill, the slower you should go until you can do it from a complete stop. The most common thing people struggle with when it comes to this style of basic hop is getting their back wheel to come off the ground with their front wheel. And if you're one of those people that's struggling with that, imagine a motion where you're pushing down, back, and up on that back pedal, and that will help scoop the back wheel up into the air. If you need extra focus on getting that back wheel off the ground and that pedal scooping motion, what I'd recommend is rolling along slowly and putting all of your body weight forward on the bike by the handlebars. This will unweight the back wheel and make it easier to move off the ground. What you could do then is really focus in on that down, back, and up pedal motion, and the back wheel should come off a lot easier. Then you can apply that to the basic hop. Once you're able to slow to a complete stop and get a basic hop in, we're ready to move on to moving the bike forward. To practice this, we're going to slow to a stop and then use our body position to help shift the bike forward. The way to do that is to shift your body weight forward on the bike. Lean into the handlebars right before you do that hop. You may have heard this idea of where your body goes, the bike will follow, and that's exactly it. We're going to put ourselves forward on the bike, we're going to do this hop, and we're going to catch the bike up to recenter it, and that's what's going to scoot the bike forward. The most important thing here is to start super small and get the basics of this movement happening. We're not going for distance just yet. We're just trying to get the bike to move forward. As you practice this skill, your technique becomes a lot more efficient over time, and you develop what's called muscle memory. That's a big reason why I always say practice makes progress. Let's do the inchworm drill. In this drill, we're going to make a line on the ground and we're going to hop 1 inch over the line and then repeat another inch after that and continue on until we feel confident. When we feel like you have those 1 inch increments locked in, then let's try to hop a 2 inch increment at a time and so on from there. There's not going to be an immediate moment where you go from hopping 1 inch at a time to an entire wheelbase at a time. This is the foundational skill that you need to have in place before we apply the next layer of technique to this skill. So start working up until you can get about 8 to 10 inches in a single hop. And when you're able to do that, then it's time to apply this next layer. To hop your bike an entire wheelbase forward, not only do you have to over-exaggerate everything you've been doing to this point, but there are 2 additional tweaks that you can make that will help you get it going even further. Number 1 is to pull your bike up as high as you possibly can when you're doing that basic hop. This is going to give you a lot more air time to move the bike where it needs to be. And the easiest way to do this is to go back to the basics and practice this rolling along, seeing how high you can jump the bike off the ground. The second thing that will help you out, maybe more than anything, is letting go of the brakes as soon as you have forward momentum. So I like to think of this as kind of a slingshot because I have my brakes locked when I'm at that standstill. I lean back a little bit on the bike and then I shoot my body weight forward as I let go of the brakes. That, combined with the big hop that you just did, is going to give you a lot of power to move the bike forward. The only thing you have to pay attention to is making sure your brakes are locked until you jump forward. Otherwise, you're going to roll back and lose a ton of power. Let's put this skill to the test. We usually use the wheelbase hop to reset ourselves on the trail or to completely hop over a difficult section, but there are plenty of other uses for it. I'm going to do the most maxed out version of this technique that I possibly can, which is a wheelbase hop off of a drop. Consequences for this are crazy high because if I don't make the wheelbase hop, I'm gonna hang up on the drop and flip over the bars. One quick thing before I do this challenge, we just launched members only content on this channel. So instead of releasing videos a little bit early, what I'm doing there is a lot of extra lessons and some behind the scenes content. If that sounds interesting to you or you wanna support the channel, go check it out. That one was tough. Not only do you have to do a complete wheelbase hop, but then once you're in the air, you have to reset so you land smooth. This is definitely the most advanced version of the wheelbase hop, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that until you feel extremely confident because the consequence is so high. If this video was helpful for you, consider sharing it with someone you ride with. If you want to continue progressing on your bike, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss the next lesson. And if you can't wait that long, go check out this video right here.